Heavy hitters back in the house. World Series champ Will Middlebrooks, former first-round pick Lewis Brinson. Look, the Dodgers dominant, okay? You got Tyler Glass now running out there. And then what we talked about was concern about the Dodgers bullpen, right? That would be their weakness. Well, no, it's not. 3 1/3, 1 hit. What did you see out of the Dodgers bullpen here to close the door on the Brewers having any chance of coming back?
Well, they got strike one, right? And they kept throwing off speed, which has been a problem for the Brewers. Everything non-fastball before the RBI single by Bowers early in the game, they were 0 for 37 against non-fastballs. Glass now did a good job of recognizing that. Second time through, it was all spin, all spin. The bullpen came in, tons of spin, kind of pitched backwards, and all of a sudden that fastball up in the zone, they couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Glass now, the third ace of this staff, and then you got Ohtani tomorrow. I mean, like you said, Akeem, I just don't. I don't see it, Brewers, man. I really don't.
Great season, but.
Yeah, I just don't see it. But you talk about the shadows. We were talking about that as we were watching the game. Obviously, Glass now is tough to hit, right? Fastball, top of the zone. He's 6'12" up there, coming at you with arms and legs and limbs. But you have the factor of the shadows there that were affecting both teams, and both managers said it's a little tough to see right now. But you talk about their bullpen coming in after Glass now. These guys had shutdown stuff. Like you said, starting with strike one is the most important thing in an at-bat. If I'm a hitter and you're starting me out strike one, every at-bat, I'm pressing. I think that's a popular word, Akeem, is pressing. But
yeah,
I'm pressing up there. I'm not comfortable. And obviously, you know, you're already down 0-2. You're in Dodger Stadium. It's already intimidating. And this Brewers team just felt that, you know, all game today, man. The Dodgers bullpen did do a great job of shutting them down, though.
You mentioned shadows. That's a big deal, right? And that's great to lean on. It's a little bit of a crutch, but they have 9 hits in 3 games.
Yeah.
You said it, hitting 101 in these. There's no shadows in Milwaukee.
Yeah, didn't help.
But,
didn't help.
You know, the guys you're facing have just been phenomenal. The Dodgers starting pitching has been unreal, and then the bullpen today did the job.
I want to take you back to the bottom of the first inning. Shohei Ohtani just throws his bat at a 1-2 pitch, and it ends up with a stand-up triple, and consider he'd been hitting 5 of 34 in this postseason. And then you got Mookie Betts' first pitch swing in, RBI double to make it 1-0, 6 pitches into the game, and you're sitting there going, all right, here we go. And that's when you're sitting here thinking, if you're a Brewers fan, why are we rolling out Aaron Ashby again when you have Jacob Mizorowski ready to go and you saw the outing that he had? It's all of these questions are going to be asked of Pat Murphy in postgame and in the offseason. Why not start Mizorowski in this game?
The reason you're seeing lefties as openers is because you want Ohtani and you want Freeman facing lefties because they're not nearly as lethal against those guys. Ohtani has struggled a lot this postseason. You saw it against the Phillies with the lefties, and that's the reason, at least for one at bat, you think. And even today, he was beat on that triple. He just threw the bat out there and took his hit, but that's the reason for it. But it's so easy to look back now and say, man, you got to just start this guy. He was good.
He was excellent. He had 9 strikeouts in this game. I mean, he covered 5 innings. And look, we're going to sit here and dissect what managers do, right? Like a lot of these guys in this situation, this is his first NLCS, Pat Murphy. He's in a situation for the first time. John Snyder's in this situation. Dan Wilson, even though he played in ALCS as a player. And now you're sitting here going, these fine moments, these margin of error moments, and then you perhaps left Jacob Mizorowski in too long after the walk to Freddie Freeman. Bring him out of the game instead. You let him face Tommy Edman. His pitch count is up. I don't know. I'm sitting here going, this is why you're a manager of a team. This is why they pay you what they pay you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could all say that maybe he left him in a little too long. We were watching the back end of his start, and it looked like he was starting to lose at 90. He was sitting at 98 instead of 102, but he did start to run out of some steam. We talked about he only threw up to, 57 pitches his last 2 outings. He had 73 tonight. I mean, you're asking a lot from the youngest guy on your pitching staff. I know he's throwing hard. I know he's really giving these Dodger hitters problems. But at the same time, you walk Freddie Freeman. You miss glove side. He was missing glove side a lot towards the end of his outing. And then, Tommy Edman's behind anything good for the Dodgers. And it just seemed like, either he was going to walk him again or he was going to get that big hit. But, you asked the question, did he leave him in too long? Maybe. But, I mean, he was cruising up to that point. It was really just that, just hiccup right there. But I mean, you know, like I said, it's Pat Murphy's first NLCS, and you know, we're all going to question him. He's going to get the questions in the postseason.
To your original point, this is what we do in big games and in the postseason when it comes to managers and their decisions and the pitchers they use and the usage. If the player executes and does their job, it's a great move.
It looks great.
If they don't do their job, then what is the manager doing? This is what we do. This isn't just us. It's all across baseball. It's across fans. It's all of media.
Yep.
They dissect everything. If a player doesn't execute, and these are professionals, it's their job. If they don't execute their job, it's the manager's fault.
Yeah, but if you leave a player in too long and you know he's going to want to stay in, right? There's no player's going to go, yeah, take me out, Skip, unless there's an injury or something like that.
If they take him out and the next guy gives up the hit, it's why did you pull him early?
Right.
So
But you can understand that if you know ball and you just walk to bat, or you understand why you get lifted. It's not like you're going to say, oh, I can't believe we took him out of the game.
I'm
like
not
that makes sense.
disagreeing they shouldn't have taken him out. I'm just saying, grand scheme of things, it all comes down to players executing their play.
Absolutely. You gotta execute, and he was executing up to that point. But again, as a manager, you can feel, and pitching coach, you can feel and see when that guy's starting to miss glove side, he's starting to yank things, and they did see that, but at the same time, we could go back and forth.
And the velocity went down a touch, too.
Exactly,
That should be
yeah.
the key.
But you start to see that, and you're like, okay, do we go get him? He was cruising. Now all of a sudden he's starting to lose it. It's a toss-up right there.
Well, you look at what the moment could have meant, would have meant, whatever it did mean. They ended up getting 2 runs in the inning.
Right.
And look, you give the Brewers credit because they bounced back. They responded in the top of the second, right? Caleb Durbin with a triple after a pop-up. Then you got Jake Bauers' RBI single to make it 1-1. He steals second. There's a throwing error on Tyler Glass now. You're thinking the inning could unravel, but then there's a ground ball to third, which you love this play. Do you run on contact there in that situation?
Yeah, with
so there's
one
a
out.
play at the plate. But Max Muncy, I mean, he's playing on the grass and throws an absolute dart to the plate.
This is an extremely difficult play with the body movements. You're moving glove side. Glove side's the toughest play for a third baseman just because you have to keep your eyes behind the baseball. And for him to slide all in one motion, 360, and make a perfect throw. And to your original question, yes, that's a contact play with one out. You take the chance there because if not, you ground out your 2 outs. It doesn't matter. The infield can move back into regular depth, so you take your shot with 1 out.
But a big inning squashed right there, Lewis. I mean, that's the opportunity you have to take against the Dodgers because you know you're not going to get a lot of chances.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, what a play by Max Muncy.
It took a great play to get him out.
Yeah, literally.
Shouts to his ophthalmologist, by the way, for getting the new prescription.
There you
Try
go.
to say that
I don't know if
3
you
times fast.
noticed that. Yeah. But again, a great play by Max Muncy in that moment, all in one motion, throwing home. But yes, to your point, you send him right there. You're 1 out. You got to go on contact. One, you're down 0-2. We need runs. We need to be aggressive. We need to show these guys and get runs on the board, as efficiently as we can and any chance that we can because we know we're not going to get that many opportunities with this pitching staff on the mound.
And that's who the Brewers are.
Yeah,
they're
and
the
exactly who
aggressor,
they are,
and they
yes.
press you, and they put pressure on the defense.
And they
you
did
saw the
do
hit
that
and
today.
run
Yeah.
that ended up just being a stolen base because
Right.
a swing and miss, but them stealing bases and putting pressure on the defense. And to your point, on that play, that's the point of that play.
That's
is
the
to
play.
put pressure. Muncy just made a great play.
Right.
The Brewers lose more than just a game and now down 0-3. Jackson Chourio was injured mid-at-bat in the 7th inning. He re-aggravated the hamstring injury he suffered. He has been able to start every game in left field since re-aggravating the right hamstring injury in Game 1 of the NLDS. We know it's been going back to the regular season, missed almost all of August because of the right hamstring strain. You see him here, and Will, look, you're down 0-3. You know he's going to try and want to play in a Game 4, but what are you doing here when you know he's been battling all of
First
the
off,
season?
I've had this injury. I've had it when I came back too early, which he probably did. Your team's in a race. You're playing good ball. You're in the postseason. You want to take all the meds you can just to get you on the field. You have a neoprene wrap. You have all the special sauces you put on the hamstring to keep it warm. But a strained hamstring is something you just can't play with. And that back hamstring, I've strained that exact one. When you swing, that thing fires, all right? Your whole backside, if he doesn't have it, that's why he struggled a little bit here as of late. He had that homer, but other than that, not much.
Right.
That kills him. I mean, I would be very surprised if he's in the game.
I would be extremely surprised if he's back in this game and even on this roster, to be honest with you, because he's a speed guy, right? You need him on. You like him on base. You like him to run things out, but obviously he hasn't been 100%. But I haven't pulled that muscle before, but I have taken a swing. Maybe I haven't warmed up correctly or in a game. And you're right, you're firing that muscle, you're firing that glute into the baseball. So you see that swing. I know it. I don't want to say, anything significantly bad happened to him, but just the way he was hopping off, he couldn't really put any pressure on it. That did not look good, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's taken off this roster.
That's their engine, right? That's their guy. He's a superstar. I know he's young, but he is a superstar in this game. Without him, I just don't see him having much chance.
Well, Christian Yelich has not been very helpful either. Their MVP in this series. They just have not been able to get going because of the dominant pitching that they're facing. And oh wait, they're facing another dominant pitcher in Game 4.
Never stops.
In one Shohei Ohtani, who got stronger as the season went on, just dotting the fastball, hitting 102 in starts at the end of the year, and now in a closeout situation, they're not going to mess around, and I know they'll be cautious with him considering they have a 3-0 series lead, but now you're running out Ohtani to get you back to the World Series.
This is how you know you're loaded and you're a good team, when you can build a guy up as the season goes on. Remember when he started, he was just throwing an inning, and then he was throwing 30 pitches, and they built him up throughout the season. His last outing of the regular season, he threw 90 pitches just in time for the postseason. Now you have a chance to send your team to the World Series at home at Dodger Stadium. It's pretty special.
I know, and at the same time, he's not producing at the plate like we expect Shohei Ohtani to. He is going to come out guns blazing tomorrow. I'm a little scared for the Brewers tomorrow, to be honest with you. He's going to come out with that fastball. He's going to be at home. He's going to be in the playoff atmosphere. He has not pitched in a playoff atmosphere like this yet in his career. So, again, he's not hitting right now. He's like, I got to contribute with this right arm.
I was going to say, that's a great point, because he is struggling big time right now.
Right.
This is his opportunity to kind of erase that with this dominant performance to send your team on.
The Dodgers are going to get to the World Series in spite of Shohei Ohtani, right? Like,
say that one more time for the people in the
right? Like,
just throw up their lineup and we'll say that's why.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we don't have to get into it right now, but 5 through 9 their lineup's hitting like 360.
Yeah.
So possibly. I mean, that'll do it.
Shohei Ohtani pressing at the plate, but certainly going to try to get going on the mound in Game 4 and close him out. We'll see if that happens. Look, this is not going to be easy because not a lot of teams have done this. Only one team in Major League Baseball history has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit, the Red Sox, famously in 2004. The other 4 teams from the National Hockey League. So, look, you got some hope there, but it's not looking great. Game 4 on Friday. Dodgers looking to close it out and get back to the World Series as they look to run it back in the Fall Classic. We haven't seen a team win back-to-back World Series since the Yankees, 98, 99, and 2000. We'll see if the LA Dodgers can get back to the World Series, one win away from getting back to the Fall Classic.